It's getting a little chilly here in Texas. It's time for some soup, lemon rice soup. This one's really easy, so let's get to it. What's up, good people? Welcome back to BKC Cooks. I'm Brandon Carpenter, and today we're working on lemon rice soup. So if you're not familiar, lemon rice soup is really popular with the diners in the area I'm from. I'm from Northwest Indiana, part of the greater Chicagoland area. And all of the good diners always have really good lemon rice soup. And so it's getting a little chilly here in Texas. Not cold, just chilly. And that makes me want a nice little pot of soup. And you don't find lemon rice soup down here. And so I'm gonna make a pot. It's not hard to do, it's pretty simple. The ingredients are simple. Just takes a little time, a little bit of technique, but I'll show you how everything is done. So let's check it out. Okay, so I have a large stock pot. I've got 3 quarts of water, along with 3 chicken leg quarters. That's just the leg and the thigh together. I have 2 stalks of celery and 2 carrots. That's it. I'm gonna bring this up to a boil, and then I'll turn it down to a hard simmer. And I'm gonna cook those leg quarters until that meat is falling off the bone. All right, as you can see, our pot is boiling, so I'm gonna turn this down. And that'll cool down and come to a hard simmer. So all of this stuff that's floating to the top, you want to skim all this stuff off. So just get your ladle and get all that scum and foam and everything out of there. Make a nice clean soup. Your soup will look better, taste better. You get all that stuff out of there. And so as it's simmering, you just want to continue to do this because stuff will continue to collect at the top. So just take your time with your ladle and scoop all that stuff out. So I'm gonna keep skimming, and again, this will keep simmering for at least an hour, maybe longer, but once that meat is falling off the bone, we'll pull that chicken out of there. All right, while my chicken is cooking, I'm gonna handle a few things that we gotta get done. So I've got one nice yellow onion, and I'm gonna dice this up really fine. Actually, I'm not going to. My food processor is gonna dice this up really fine. And I'm gonna saute this in just a little bit of olive oil. You could use butter if you want, or you can do a combination of both. But at any rate, I want this to be soft and golden brown. Just make sure you don't burn it, because we're gonna add this in towards the end. And I'm also gonna juice, I've got 3 lemons. I don't know if I'm gonna use all 3, but I have 3 lemons. I'm gonna start off with a half cup of fresh lemon juice. So the thing with the lemon juice is, of course, every lemon is different. So I'm not gonna just dump that half cup in there at once. I'm gonna have a half cup available. And I'm gonna add half of it at first. I'm gonna taste and add gradually until I get it to be as lemony or as sour as I want it to be. There's one thing about it, you can always add more. It's like salt, you can add more, but you can't take it away. So I'm gonna get these lemons juiced. I'm gonna get the onion diced up, and I will start sauteing it. We got plenty of time to do all this stuff while that chicken is cooking. So even if you're not super skilled or anything like that, you have plenty of time. You have at least an hour, and probably longer, because again, it's just simmering. So don't sweat it. We can get this stuff done with no problem. All right, so I've got my onions chopped up. I've got a medium-sized skillet that I have over medium-low heat. And I got some olive oil. And I'm gonna put about a tablespoon and a half of olive oil. I'm gonna add my diced onions. So I'm caramelizing these slow. That's why I have them on such low heat. Because again, I don't want these to burn. I just want these to get nice, soft, and brown and sweet. But you want them golden brown. That's going to add a really nice touch to finish off the soup. So again, we got this on medium-low. And we're just going to keep stirring and browning these until they're golden brown. And it's just a good way to manage your time while your chicken is over there, cooking away. And so while these are browning, I'm going to go juice those lemons. All right, let's get these lemons juiced. So I've got 3 lemons here. I'm not quite sure I'm going to need all 3. 2, I'm pretty sure. 3, I'm not certain. So what I'm going to do is juice 2 of them. I'm going to keep one in the wings there, just in case. But I'm just cutting them across in half. And I have a juicer here, so it has a sieve built into it. So the juice can just kind of run down and it'll catch the seeds in the pulp. And your juice will collect in that bowl, and then I'll measure out a half cup. So hopefully these 2 will be juicy enough to give me a half cup. They're certainly full of seeds. So this juicer's pretty cool. And there's your juice. So just keep doing that till you get to a half cup. All right, so we have our juice. Now let's beat 2 eggs. My dog loves eggs, so he's over there licking his chops. Sorry, bud, can't get these. And we want to beat these well. We want to make sure there's no white streaks. This takes a little practice, but you just want to go like in a loop, like so, very rapidly. Takes some practice, but same way you beat eggs for breakfast. But I've done this thousands of times, so just keep practicing. You'll get it too. Okay, our eggs are nice and beaten well, no white streaks. So we're going to set that to the side. Our chicken is done, so we're going to pull the chicken out, let it cool, and we'll get started on our broth. All right, so our chicken is out. We're going to let this cool till we can handle it. And once it's cooled down to the point where I can handle it, I don't know if you can see that steam, but it is still extremely hot. But we'll let that cool. We'll shred it and chop it up into just, really, really fine pieces. So the celery and the carrot that I put in there, I left those whole because I can just pull them out. I'm not going to use them any further. I really just put them in there for flavor. And that way it's easy to just grab these and toss them. As you can see, they're cooked all the way through. And I think you'll get just as much flavor as you would if you chopped them all up. But this makes it a lot easier to get rid of them when you don't need them anymore. So let's go check on these onions and get ready to get this soup together. So our onions are nice and golden brown. That's what we're looking for. Gonna kill the heat on these and get our stock back up to a nice rolling boil. All right, so our stock is back up to a boil. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon. A lot of people might give me flack for that, for using bouillon powder, seeing as I just boiled down chicken and all that, but I really want concentrated flavor. You could salt this to death, but I think that I'm adding salt anyway. I might as well add a bunch of flavor to it. So that's my justification, and if you don't agree, that's perfectly fine with me. So we're gonna add our onions in here. That's also gonna punch up a lot of flavor. Give that a stir. And of course, some fresh cracked black pepper. You can just do this to taste. You can always let people add more on their own later. Now here comes the rice part. So I have 3/4 of a cup of Arborio rice. So Arborio rice is what they use to make risotto. I don't know if you can see that, but those grains are much different than just the plain old white rice that you cook every day. And the reason I'm using Arborio is because it's super starchy and it's going to release starch like crazy. And that's going to help this thicken up. Just get that stir, make sure nothing clumps up, and we're going to let this rock on a hard simmer for 30 to 45 minutes until that rice is completely done and tender. It shouldn't be al dente at all. It should be completely done. That way, you know, you have enough starch that's released. You won't have any chance of any hard grains of rice or anything like that. So we'll turn that down, let it come to a hard simmer. And again, we're going to manage our time. So while this is simmering, we'll let our chicken cool off. And again, we'll get it shredded, chopped up into really fine pieces. And oh yeah, don't forget, make sure you stir this every few minutes. That way nothing's sticking to the bottom of your pot and nothing's clumping together. Just a quick stir. No big deal. Okay, so the rice is all cooked down in the stock. It's time to wrap this thing up. So remember, we beat our eggs and we have our lemon juice. We're gonna combine these. Don't wanna do this too early. You wanna do this right before you're ready to add this to the soup. And we're just gonna give this a good mix. So I'm also going to temper this. And what that means is I'm going to take a little bit of that hot soup and add to this and mix it up to warm it up so that when we add this to the soup, we don't make scrambled eggs. That goes in. We'll give that a mix. And we'll get this in our soup. As you can see, that rice is fully cooked and bloomed. And we've got our lemon and egg mixture. That's all done. And we'll go in with our chicken. And we just want to heat this through. So as you can see, this is nice and thick. Great on a cold day. We'll get a spoon and give this a taste for salt and pepper. Takes a pinch of salt. And that's it, y'all. We're done. We're gonna get this served up and get ready for the taste test. Let's go. All right, the moment of truth. The soup is all done. I'm serving mine with a nice loaf of crusty, fresh-made French bread from H-E-B. Greatest grocery store in the world. And again, they don't pay me to say that, but H-E-B, if you want to, I'm your man. So, remember I had that extra lemon. So I got the fancy idea to use my microplane, and I'm zesting this onto my soup. Again, you just want to take the very yellow part. You don't want the white part because that's bitter, but just the very yellow part. And you just grate that right into your soup, right on top. Gives a very bright flavor without being sour. But I'm fancy like that. So let's get into this and see what it's doing. Got me a nice hot steaming bowl, as you can see. Let's see what it's doing. Yeah, man. That's that stuff right there. Now, this is the way I like it. It's not too lemony. It's probably more chicken than what's usually found. These are all adjustments you can make, but again, the sourness is coming through. Good chicken flavor from the soup itself. The rice is completely done, but it's not absolute mush. The grains are all intact and they're all individual. Yes, sir. It tastes like home. So I hope you'll give this a try. Do me a favor, leave your comments, leave your questions. I always try to answer as much of that stuff as I can. Forgive me, I'm still not used to eating with my mouth full. All I hear is my mama yelling and screaming about me speaking that way. But I hope you give this a try. Again, it does take a little bit of time, but it's actually pretty damn easy. So do me a favor, as always, y'all, smash that bell and smash that subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. And I wish good eating to y'all. Take care.